Good morning. Could I get mic volume? Yeah. All right. How you guys doing? Hi, Joey. Hi. I think we need to get onto our hands and knees into a tabletop pose. Is anybody new today? Anybody never been here before? Yeah? Welcome. Just want to say welcome. I'm Leslie from Yoga Journey. Good morning. Seeing all my regulars. Hi, Kat. Just looking around. Anybody else new over on this side? Nobody wants to admit it? Or actually somebody new might not have come today because it's chilly. Is that it? So anyone new tuning in at home, I welcome you. We are about to get started. And this practice in the park is always about community. It's about us coming together and all of us trying to elevate ourselves just a little bit. And collectively, when we all step it up just a little, we elevate the community as a whole. And so as much as this work is done together in a group and even spread worldwide on the live stream, each of us comes to the mat for our own reasons. We each come to the mat with our own desire or our own need for the practice to have a purpose in our life. We don't always know what that is, but we should at least set out with some intention, right? Some mild intention. It doesn't have to be like big, I'm going to change the world today, right? It could just be like, it's Saturday, I want to enjoy my weekend. I'm just going to let go of the week. I still seem to, from Friday night, haven't been able to let it go. So right now, this moment is where I step into my yoga and I'm just going to be free. You know, I'm just going to breathe and move and make myself feel better. Could be something else. I don't know. Each and every one of us comes for a different reason. And so take a moment right now. Get really clear about it. Before we take any real action in the body, I want your mind in the right place. I want your head in the right place about it. You know? It could be that you want a great workout. Who am I to judge, right? You know what I mean? Like, do whatever it is that you came here for. And then begin to plant your hands. Like really spread your fingers and plant your hands into the mat and do that action like you mean it, like it's going to help you get toward that desire, that intention, that purpose. And then start mushing like the mat a little and squeeze your hands toward each other isometrically so you feel your collarbones widen and you feel your shoulders root into your body, and then pull your belly button to your spine. Feel the support under the spine, and then press a little bit through the shins and the top of the feet. And all of a sudden, this tabletop pose that you've been in for the past moment or two has taken on a new energy. It's taken on presence and awareness. And that's what I need from you today. When you do your poses, I want you to do them like you mean it. I'm going to give you cues so that you can articulate them in your body, but I want you to do your work like it matters. All right, now keep all of that integration, keep all of that muscle work, and just no arching or rounding the back. Just rock forward a little till you feel your wrists stretch. That's it, and then rock back a little bit. Even this simple movement is working your wrists, your shoulders, your hips, your knees. Could you imagine something so simple is actually starting to move you through some of the major joints of the body? So just a little rock forward and back with some mindfulness could have some real purpose. And all that muscle hugging bone is going to start to create heat, and all we're doing is rocking a little bit forward and back. I think it's amazing the simplicity and the sensitivity that yoga can bring us. Now, on the next time you rock forward, I want you to arch your back, which means you're going to look up and start to lift your tailbone, lift the crown of your head, and spread your chest really wide, moving the chest through the arms. From there, take a really big inhale. Fill up your lungs. And then exhale, start to push into your hands, move your body back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, and feel your back ribs move up toward the sky. That's it. On the inhale, we rock forward. We look up and lift the tailbone, just opening the front of the spine, feeling the muscles in the back body. And then exhale, round. Push the floor away, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. So even that, simple movement, but articulating every vertebra, right? Go ahead, arch forward, inhale, and then push back, exhale, and round. We're gonna do 2 more, just like that. Do them on purpose. Shins grounded, hands grounded, just moving through the shoulders, hips, spine. I love what I'm seeing. You guys are really paying attention to your work. And as we move through the practice, it's gonna become a little more complex. I know this is simple, but even the simple can have a complexity to it. Now, we're going to find that tabletop pose again. Belly to the spine. Take your eyes to your fingertips. Let's tuck our toes under and lift the knees for just 3 breaths. It's called a floating tabletop. Now, all of a sudden, things get serious. Eyes are on the fingertips, belly to the spine. There's a little bit more work happening because we're lifting ourselves off the earth. That means we're going to have to hold ourselves up. And so whenever we have less parts of the body touching the mat, we have to do a little more work. So just pay attention to what you're feeling, and then slowly start to lift your hips and move back into your first downward facing dog. That's it. The legs just straighten behind you. Your heels don't have to touch the mat. I want you to take a really big deep breath in and push back just a little. And then keep the core really strong as you tip forward into a plank pose. That's it. Again, just rocking forward, body flat, eyes toward the fingertips. And then go ahead, push back, eyes toward the navel. Inhale, come to plank pose. Strong legs, strong belly. Lift your hips, down dog. We've got 2 more like that, just generating a little bit of heat. Do you guys start to feel the heat coming? Just a little bit? Yeah? And then back into down dog. Right? Simple movements, but done with mindfulness can have quite a purpose. Last one into plank on the inhale, and then back into down dog on the exhale. Go ahead and bend your right knee and give a really beautiful stretch to your left leg. Feel what's going on back there. There's some stiffness, I'm sure. And then go ahead, bend the left knee and stretch the right leg. And then there's a really nice beat. Marty and Drez, right? Go ahead and move with the beat. Walk it out a little bit right there. Paddle your feet. That's it. I could see some of you are really good on the dance floor. Some maybe not so much. I think that's funny. They say the way we do anything is the way we do everything, right? And so, do it with some purpose. Feel the tissue stretching. Feel the heat coming. Feel the mobility in your joints. Let's take 1 more deep breath in and press both legs back. And then look at your hands and start to walk your feet, just paddling like that. Just walk your feet right up to the top of the mat. That's it. All the movements lead into the next movement. Let's lift halfway. Inhale with a flat back, just like tabletop. And then exhale, fold in deeply. 2 more times. Come halfway up on the in-breath. And then exhale as you fold. All right, last one. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, fold. Using that same flat back, we're going to rise to standing. Push into your feet, pull that belly in. Let's reach up high to the sky. And then hands come right to your heart. How you doing? Yeah? Things starting to get a little warmer? Arms reach, inhale. Drop your right arm down by your side. And then I want you to just pull that arm down the side body. So you feel one shoulder dropping and one shoulder rising. And then draw the tailbone down and the front ribs in. Good. I want you to take a little stretch over to the right. Keep feeling what's happening in your side body. Both feet are really grounded. We feel the feet pressing down, the side waist reaching up. Now turn your gaze up toward your hand. I like what I see. Keep breathing. We're going to take that right arm and reach out parallel to the ground. Take it straight out to your side. All of a sudden, things got serious, right? Don't change your face. On your next inhalation, come on up. Both arms reach. I like it. Left arm drops by your side. Feel one arm reach down and one arm reach up. Keep breathing and then start to stretch to your left. Feel the magnificence of the side body stretch. Keep breathing. The inhales help the ribs spread. All those intercostal muscles opening up. Now float that left arm out, parallel to the floor. Let's take our gaze up toward that top hand. Keep your mind pressing your feet down. The whole body participates in every pose. On your next inhale, the arm comes up, and then exhale your hands right to your heart. Body is awakening. Inhale, let's reach. Both arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. And then fold again on the exhale. I'd like you to bend your knees and take chair pose. Utkatasana. Yeah. Now we need some muscle energy here. So I need you to feel the belly draw in to support the spine. Relax your shoulders down, but reach your arms a little higher. That means elbows start to straighten. And then take this pose up on your toes. Heels are going to leave the mat. And once again, muscles hugging bones. That's okay. And if you have a foot issue and you can't get on your toes, do chair pose with integrity. Do it with purpose. I really like what I see. Can you stay on your toes and start straightening your legs? Draw the tailbone down and the ribs in. Feel the body become more streamlined. And then reach higher through both arms. I really like what I see. Now hinge at your hips, stay on the toes, and start to fold in slow motion. Yep. Eventually those hands can touch down. Then release your heels, soften your knees if you need to. Nice work, everyone. Halfway up, inhale, lengthen. Let's step it back into plank pose. Both feet go back, hold that upper push-up, and breathe. In the upper push-up, we need to keep the legs strong. We need some integration in the arms. So we can hold the form of the pose as we lower down onto our bellies. So go ahead, bend the elbows, move a little forward, and lay it down. Good. Inhale into Cobra. Cobra's a little baby back bend, but again, it's done with some purpose. So I don't want you to come flailing all the way up. I want you to just feel the back muscles start to contract, and that's going to help round and pull the spine up off the floor. That's it. Use your hands just a little. It's okay to put your hands on the mat and use them. Take one more breath in, and then exhale, release. Tuck your toes and go to downward facing dog. Good. Make sure you're breathing. Breath in, breath out. You're going to push a little from the hands, pull a little from the legs. Take one more inhale as you push back, and then exhale, look at your hands. Let's walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Halfway up, inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. Flat back, rise all the way up. Lift your head and your chest, start reaching those arms to the sky. Exhale, draw it right into your heart. Take a moment right here. Remember your intention. What was it? What was your reason for being here? Let's keep it present. Let's keep it in every action, so your yoga becomes an expression of your work. If you came in here to relax and then you find yourself being really aggressive in a pose, that means you're not on purpose. If you came here to feel strong and you came here to move and really work hard, and you find yourself dropping out or daydreaming, that means you are not on purpose. So every few moments we check back in, we make sure we remind ourselves. When you're clear and you're ready, The inhale takes the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Do it like you mean it. Come halfway up, inhale. Go to plank pose, please, and lower on the same exhale. Take it down a little forward onto the belly. Inhale into cobra, and then exhale back into downward facing dog. I'm gonna give you time for 3 breaths here. A little push, a little pull, a little time to check in with the rhythm of your breath. Time for some of you to drop to your knees and lose a piece of clothing, right? That's it. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, look forward. Let's bring our feet to the top of the mat. Halfway up, inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. With a flat back, rise all the way up. Lift your head and chest. Let's reach the arms high. Exhale, draw it to the heart, and we do it one more time. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold. Right? Rhythm and movement and breath. Halfway up as you inhale. Step it back. Lower on the exhale. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, down dog. You got a few breaths here. Check in. How are you using your arms? How are you using your legs? A mindful practice on purpose. Let's take one more. Push back just a little. And then you look at your hands. We're going to jump, step, or walk to the top of the mat. Come halfway up. Inhale. Fold deeply. Exhale. And then with that flat back, rise all the way up. Draw your hands to your heart. Exhale completely. I can see some of you have had enough of that. Inhale, arms reach. We're going to move on. Exhale, forward fold. Let's hold it right here. We're going to come up halfway, inhale, and then step only the right leg back this time. I want you to stay on your right toes, pull the belly in, and start to rise up to a high crescent lunge. That's it. Work on all 5 toes of that right foot being on the mat. The heel is high behind you, the breath is flowing free. And I want you to lean back just a touch. Very good. That lean back is supported by a lift of the lower belly and a stretch through the side waist. Now, we're going to hold that same form, but we're going to fold halfway. So go ahead and fold. Reach forward through your arms. Stretch back through that right heel. Nice work, everyone. From the belly, pull it in and rise back up to your high crescent lunge. Take one deep breath, lean it back. And then exhale, slow motion. Take your hands all the way to the mat and hold. Right hand is going to root down, twist open to your left. That's it. Keep part of your attention on the action of your back leg and your back foot. The twist is coming from the belly. Let's take one more inhale. Twist a little deeper on the exhale. And then the eyes go down. That left hand goes down. Take a step back to plank and hold. Breathe in your plank pose. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale into cobra. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. Now I'd like you to walk your hands back to your feet. Feet will stay hip distance apart. Take a deep breath. Lengthen and look up. Then exhale, fold. Bend your knees 90 degrees. Go ahead, bend them both. Drop your hips the same height as your knees and start to reach your arms forward. The biceps are near the ears and your eyes are slightly down. Keep the back of your neck long. So you can actually notice with your mind where the back of your neck is. Like, where does the neck meet the base of the skull? And I want you to draw the base of the skull away from your shoulders, right? That means look down a little bit, but don't tuck your chin. Right? I want you to feel the back of your neck long. Now, stay where you are, but sweep your arms toward the floor and then take them behind you. Feet are hip distance apart. You'll feel better if you have a little bit of space between your feet. Now I know your legs are starting to talk to you, and it's about time they started to get heated up, right? So let's sit in them just a little deeper. Feel some weight in your heels, and then lift your arms a little higher than your body. Oh, I love that. Good. Squeeze the shoulder blades, and then bring your hands together and clasp them. And then on your exhale, forward fold. Let the crown of the head drop. Work the arms a little bit away from your body and make sure you're breathing. Now in this moment, I want you to check back in with your feet. Make sure you have some weight on the pinky toe sides of the feet. Yep, and you can even look at your feet and see if the arches are lifted. We're always looking for a little lift in the arch of the feet. We don't want any collapse there. We're going to take one more breath in. And then exhale, release the clasping of your hands. Let the shoulders soften as they drop toward the floor. Good, arms hang free. This will be the first time we're coming up soft. So I need you to do this with purpose. We're going to soften the knees enough to feel a contraction in the back of the legs. That means your tailbone and your sit bones are going to tuck. Your chin is going to tuck, and your belly is going to pull into the spine as you round your way up one vertebra at a time. The head comes up last. So for those of you that have your heads up, tuck that chin down. Yes, they're a vertebra all the way up your neck. Yes, stack them one at a time. Beautiful. Inhale, let's reach those arms. And then exhale, forward fold. Come halfway up, inhale. Walk it out into plank pose. Let's take one deep breath in and then exhale, lower down slowly. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. I see some of you moving off of the mat onto your hands and feet. That's totally okay. Exhale into downward facing dog. Okay, just one big inhale. And then if you would, let out a little sigh. Let out a sound with the exhale. Let it go. Good. And then look at your hands. We're going to walk our feet forward. Walk them right up to the top of the mat. Feet together. Halfway up, inhale. And then fold deeply, exhale. Bend those knees. Utkatasana, chair pose. A little weight in the heels, but a distribution of weight in all 10 toes. That's it. Your faces tell me that you don't mind this pose so much today. It's actually quite nice. Yeah, sit a little deeper, take one breath, and then come to standing. Let's stretch back a little bit. Good. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment right here. Just for one breath, remember your work. And then when you're ready to inhale again, the arms reach. Exhale, go ahead, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale, hold it there. We're going to step the left leg back. You're going to stay on your left toes. Make sure you feel some purpose in that back foot, that back leg, that back knee is lifted. And then on the inhale, belly in, rise to your high crescent lunge. And I know sometimes, especially when it's cool, the hips feel a little tight, so just gently see if you can lean back. See if you can lean back just a little. You'll feel what's happening in the front of your left hip. Don't overdo it, but just start to feel it lengthen. And then from there, we're going to fold halfway. Yep, that takes a little bit of muscle action. Feel like you're pulling your legs into your hip sockets. Make the back leg super straight. Breath is flowing free. We never ever let go of the breath for any pose. On your next inhale, let's come on up. Come on up. That's it. Beautiful job, everybody. And then in slow motion, we're going to come all the way down. Hands to the mat. The left hand will stay, and we'll twist open to the right side. All right, a beautiful twist. Keep some lift in that back knee. Breath is flowing free. Your breath will assist you in the pose. Every inhale will help you create some space, and then the exhale helps you twist a little deeper. Let's do that one more time. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, twist just a little deeper. Good. Eyes go down, hand goes down. Let's take a step back. Plank pose. Breathe in right there. Exhale, lower down slowly. Inhale into cobra. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Good. Push back just a little bit. Take a deep breath in. And then we are going to walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Come halfway up. Inhale. Fold deeply on that exhale. Feet are together. Bend those knees. Here comes chair pose. Good. We've done a little bit of spinal rotation, so we're going to take it in a little deeper. Hands come to the heart. Take a twist to the right side, which means your left elbow is going to go outside of your right knee. And then just check in with your feet. Can you still feel the same amount of weight in both feet? Look down at your knees for a moment. See if the left one snuck forward. See if you can pull that left hip back, left knee back. Push into your palms, widen the chest. Oh, that's so good. Give me a little squeeze on the outer hips and then drop them down a little lower. On your last breath, open that chest a little wider. Forward fold, let it go. So good. Rest for a moment, let the head hang. Breathe. Let that head down, no tension in the neck. A great moment to check in with your intention. Now, we're going to bend our knees. Come right back into that chair pose. Remember, even this pose is done with purpose. Feet on the ground, legs feel strong. Draw the hands right into the heart, and our twist is going to go to the left side. Right elbow outside the knee or wherever you can touch. That's it. And then remember, you're pushing into your palms. There's an action that's happening. It's like you're trying to bring your thumbs toward your chest and your chest toward your thumbs. Right? Both things are happening. There's always a push and a pull. Let's see if we can drop the hips down a little bit lower. And then open that chest a little bit wider. Are you breathing? Remember that your breath actually helps you in the twist. Here comes your last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Oh, you guys, let it out. Forward fold. Woo! All right. All right. Hang there for a moment. Take a moment to remember. Ask yourself, oops, if you are still on purpose. Now, it's probably not what you want to hear, but we are coming back into chair pose. Go ahead, bend those knees. On the chilly days, we want to use our big muscles and create some heat. Take the pose onto your toes. Pay attention. That is so weird. The ringer is off, and that is my phone ringing right in the middle of the practice. Who the heck is it? Like, literally, it's on Do Not Disturb. No, it just keeps ringing through. I'm going to answer and hang up. So there. Go ahead, forward fold. I didn't forget about you. That's it. All right. What am I going to do? All right, roll up slowly. Come on up to standing. It's a good ring, though, right? Jack Johnson. Bring your hands right to your heart. Okay. Feet together, hands at the heart. Take a deep breath in. We're going to soften our knees now and take a big step out to the left. So I want you to take your left foot and step it way out. Give yourself a really nice big stance. And then turn your right toes forward, your left toes out, and come into warrior two. Very nice. So there's an agreement that you have to have in warrior two. There's a relationship that's happening between your left hip and your right knee. We're trying to open them. We're trying to open them away from each other, but in relationship with each other. And there's this whole complicated space in between them, right? So you got to draw the tailbone down a little bit for some of you, and maybe some of you need to actually let the tailbone out a little bit. I see some people that actually jam their tailbone under in this pose, and then the hip bones kind of jut forward, right? That's not what we want in this pose. Like if it feels like this to you and you're jutting your bones forward, you need to soften, right? If you're like sticking your butt out to avoid the tightness you have in the groins, maybe you encourage the tailbone down so that this space spreads open just a little bit, right? So play with it for a moment. When you find the most comfortable place, I didn't say the comfortable place, but the most comfortable place that you can find, then sink in a little deeper. Good. Commit to that. Be on purpose. Drop your left arm down, your right arm up, and reverse the warrior. Ah, that delicious side body again. As you reach for the sky, straighten that arm. Do it like you mean it. That's it. Give me one more breath here, and then go ahead, return to warrior two. Straighten out the right leg, hug the muscles onto the bones, and then go ahead and tip into triangle pose. The right hand can land on the shin, right below the knee, or anywhere from there to the floor. I want you to keep both feet grounded, both legs really strong, and just watch how the pose starts to evolve. We're going to take at least 3 more breaths here. Maybe the hand can start to slide down just a touch, right? Be gentle with yourself. Now it almost feels like the body is pulling down toward that right leg, and the right leg muscles are pulling up toward the body. And then you can give a gentle contraction, a gentle squeeze on your left butt cheek. Yeah, and see if you can allow your spine to open up a little bit more. So don't be afraid of the space behind you. We create stability, and then we can open. And then we'll take a nice deep breath and rise back up to warrior two. Good, bend that front knee. Nice work. Right forearm, right thigh. Parsvakonasana. I want you to take your left arm straight up to the sky. So sometimes we go over the head. That would be Uttita Parsvakonasana, right? Extended side angle pose. But here we're just going to do a side angle pose with the forearm on the thigh. And so we want to keep our arms straight to the sky. And then we're going to wrap the left arm around behind the back. You can press your hand into your body, or you could slip your fingers into the crease of your hip. If you have a small waist and long arms, that happens pretty easily. If any of the above is not the combination that you have, then maybe not so much, you know? It doesn't really matter as long as you can open that left chest. Now remember those actions. There's a little contraction between the body and the front leg, and a little bit of a squeeze on your left glute. And that will help you draw the right sit bone down. Yes. One more breath. Let's take the left arm back up. And then push into the feet and rise back into warrior two. Nice work. One inhale. And then let's flow it out. Bring both hands to the floor. Step it back and lower. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Nice work, everybody. Take a nice deep breath. Let's let out a little sigh. Just a little ha. And then walk your feet right up to the top of the mat. We walk it up slowly. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale and fold. Bend your knees, one breath only into chair pose. Come to standing, stretch it back a little, and then hands come right into your heart. We're going to keep the hands there, soften the knees, and this time the right leg is going to do that big step back. You're going to turn out to the right side. Be generous with your stance. Sometimes we don't step long enough. And so after the initial step, you can also wiggle the foot out to make your space a little bit wider. And then bend into the front knee and start to spread your arms out like wings. We don't want to worry too much about the upper body. We want to pay attention to what's going on in the feet, the legs, and the pelvis. We build our poses from the foundation first. The fullest expression of the upper body comes from the quality that we create in the lower body. So check yourself. Is your tailbone jutting under you so your hip bones come forward? Or can you find yourself in a neutral? Is your booty sticking out too much and you can maybe draw the tailbone down? Look for the place where your bones are agreeing with each other, where the muscles have room to move and adjust. That's it. And so I love the look on your face because it tells me that you're exploring. It tells me that you're paying attention and you are actually really in your body doing this yoga. Once you find that agreeable place, let's sink in just a little. And from there, reverse the warrior. Right arm down, left arm up. Go into that really delicious side body. Even though we're looking up to the sky, we still feel what's happening in the soles of our feet and everything in between. Addressing your body holistically, all of the parts, not just the big obvious movement, but all of the subtleties, all of the simplicity. Check with your breath. Make sure it's flowing free. We're going to take one more inhale and then return to warrior two. Straighten the front leg and then tip into triangle pose. Left arm down, right arm up. And the first place that you touch doesn't necessarily mean it's the place you're going to stay. So sometimes we get enthusiastic and we bring our hand a little too low. So maybe bring the hand up a little bit. Maybe bring your hand up on your shin. So we can adjust the pelvis. Right? So I want you to lean back toward me a little bit. Yes, that's where you belong. There's a little bit of freedom in finding the right line, you know. And then once you're in that line, you can slide down a little bit deeper. We want to treat the body well. We don't want to wear out the joints. We don't want to overstretch the tendons, right? We want to be in the muscles and we want to have alignment in the bones. It's amazing how our energy travels through the body when we're in the right place. Head back just a little bit. Remember those little tweaks. There's a contraction in the crease of your left hip and a little squeeze on the back of your right butt cheek. A little squeeze right there. Yep. And then we want to keep that as foundation as we rise back up to warrior two. Bend the front knee. Yes. Check in. Make sure everything is in the proper place that feels the most agreeable. And then Parsvakonasana. Left forearm, left thigh, right hand straight up to the sky. So a little adjustment in the pelvis. Sometimes it's a tailbone tuck or one of the sit bones tucking under. It's very common to stick the booty out here because we don't want to stretch the groins. That's it. I really like what I see. Let's wrap that top arm around the back. That's your right arm. Wrap it around. Press your hand into your back or slip it into your crease of your hip. And then see if you can get your chest to open just a little more. So it's like the tailbone wants to draw down so the chest can open up. It's like you want to make the spine a longer line. Don't be afraid of the space behind you. And certainly push into the left elbow to get even more length. That's it. Push down into your left elbow. Let yourself lift out of your shoulder. Now release the bind on your hand. Take it straight up to the sky. And then press into your feet and come on up. Beautiful. One breath, and then we flow it out. Both hands go to the floor, step it back lightly, and then let's lower down slowly. Inhale for cobra, and then exhale back into downward facing dog. Okay, walk your hands to the back of the mat. Hands go back to meet the feet. Your feet should already be wide, but I want you to take them wider. Take them out toward the edges of the mat and then start to bend your knees and come into a really nice deep squat. The right arm is going to press a little bit to the inside of the right knee and then extend it out to the earth and touch the fingertips down. And then let's lift the left arm up to the sky. I like it. How's that feel for you guys? If you need to, you can widen your feet a little more to get the heels down, but the goal is not flat feet. The goal is actually being able to sustain the pose. So you got to find the place that works for you. Go ahead and return to center, and then take it to the other side. Now when you're really stiff, this pose is a little more work because you have to hold yourself up. But on the other end, if you're really bendy, you don't want to plop into the pose. You need to push into your feet and lift your bottom a little bit. Lift yourself a little bit, yeah. No one's great at either end of the spectrum. We're trying to find that middle place. Open your heart, reach a little more, and then exhale, return to center. Forward fold. Yep, straighten those legs, bottoms up, and hang out for a moment. Wipe away any judgments and come back to that breath. Let your head go. No tension in the back of the neck. This is a moment to breathe. Okay, we're going to return back into that squat. Yep. Go ahead, take it down. The second time's probably a happier experience. Now really pay attention to the footwork. Imagine you could squeeze your feet a little bit toward each other and feel the pelvic floor lift. Put your hands in prayer and push your elbows a little bit out into your knees as your knees squeeze into your arms. You should feel like this little sense of buoyancy, this little sense of lift in your body. Good. Now I want you to keep your elbows on the insides of your knees, but start to move a little bit closer to the shoulders. So just come down in there a little deeper. There we go. And we can extend our arms out and touch the fingers to the ground. As soon as your fingers root down, start squeezing and lifting your bottom and lifting your chest just a little higher. That's really good. Okay, just one more breath. And then bring your hands right back to the heart and slowly forward fold. Straighten those knees, turn the feet straight, and recover. All right. I really like what I see, so we're going to get a little playful. You guys ready to play? Yeah. Okay, come right back into your squat. Right arm only. Take it out to the side. But remember that you can go a little bit lower. You can go a little closer to the shoulder and then take that arm out. Now you can bend your elbow and wrap it around behind your leg. So you're going from the inside and you're wrapping your arm around behind. And then the left arm is going to circle all the way around the body and you're going to try to bind those hands together. So your arms have just wrapped around your right leg. Now, can you push into your feet and start lifting your bottom? Yeah, if you can feel that lift happening, you might be able to put your weight into your left foot, get up on the right toes, and then come on up to standing. The leg is bound, and whoops, slipped right off my arm. There we go. It's just kind of fun. It's kind of fun to even watch people do it, even if you're not doing it. And the most beautiful part is actually the release. So you got to soften the standing leg and gently and slowly put your toes back down. And then we can all release the bind. That's it. Let's try the other side. Yep. Now, left arm. Reach down and inside that knee. Go a little closer to the shoulder so you can wrap it around. Right arm circles around to bind. Once you have your leg bound in your arms, you're going to put some weight in the right foot, get on your left toes. Take your time coming up. Focal point. Focus, focus. Yeah, I love the ones that are trying are laughing, right? Yeah, the ones that are trying are laughing because it is kind of a silly thing to do. Might be fun at a party tonight, right? You do that in the middle of the room. Don't wear a skirt, right? Yeah. That's it. And then we're going to soften the standing leg and put those left toes back on the floor and release the arms. Nice work. Bottoms up, everybody. Right? That's it. Forward fold. Now, I think we got probably about 30 or 40% participation in that, so that's not really playtime for everybody. So bring your feet a little closer together and then come back down into a squat for me. Your feet are going to be a little bit close, but your knees are going to open wide. Yeah, I think we might get a little better participation on this one. Feet a little close, knees a little wide. Put your hands down the inside and walk a little bit closer to the shoulders, right? Knees to almost armpits, like right above your triceps, right? And then we're going to rock a little bit of weight into our hands and then rock back. Ooh, does that feel scary or does that feel good? Right? It feels like almost exciting, right? Rock a little weight forward, lift your right leg up off the floor. Right? Really, really lift your right foot. And then put it back down. Try rocking forward again. Lift your left foot. Some of you are daring enough to go ahead and lift both. But you got to look forward. Don't look at your feet. In all of the other poses, we were aware of our feet, but we were looking up toward the sky or toward our hands. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. Look at all of you flying. Look at all of you trying. Remember your intention. Does this work match your intention? Are you still on purpose? Yes, you came here to do the best you can. That's all I ask of you. Come back into your squat and then let's all take a forward fold. Beautiful work, everyone. Take a deep breath in, look forward. As you exhale, walk it out into plank and lower yourself down slowly. Good. Inhale into cobra pose. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. We're going to take one big inhale, let out a big sound on the exhale. And then we're going to come to seated. So look at your hands. Start to bring the feet forward and your bottom down. Sit any way that you like. Any way that you like. I want you to put your left hand on your heart and put your right hand on top of your left hand. And literally just for 1 minute, can we be quiet? For one moment, can we really truly be in our yoga? Can this pose, for some, this is the ultimate yoga pose. All that hip opening, all that work in the core is meant to make us sit more easily. You know how that word asana is at the end of all of the other poses? Trikonasana, Tadasana, right? Chaturanga Dandasana. Asana means to sit. We do all of that to be able to do this. And after all of that, the hope is that our mind can be a little quiet as we do this. That would be our yoga. So feel your breath coming in and out. Feel your heart beating beneath your hands. Know that these simple things are things we take for granted. How many moments of the day do we forget the breath of life, the heartbeat, the rhythm that keeps us going? Can this moment reflect your intention? And instead of trying to do something with that intention, can you be it? Now we're going to take our hands off our hearts, but I don't want you to lose your sensitivity. Let's go ahead and unfold our legs. Both legs straight in front of you with the feet flexing. Lots of action in the legs. You're pushing your leg bones down. That means your quadriceps, the top of your thighs, are active. Press the thighs down, push the heels out, and then inhale, reach your arms up. Good. I want you to feel the side waist grow. We've been in there a few times today. Feel how the armpits have lifted just a little bit. And then in really slow motion, the arms are going to come out to the side. Keep the side waist lifted as your arms come down, and place your hands flat on the floor next to your hips. Keep that lift in the side waist. Keep the armpits a little bit open, a little buoyant. And keep pressing down through your legs as you lift your chest. Drop that chin a little bit. Remember the length in the back of your neck. That's it. We push the hands, we push the heels, and we lift the sternum. Yeah, it doesn't feel like much. A lot of effort for not so much movement. Yoga's not all flashy. It's not all contortion. Sometimes it's the simplest things that we do that actually give us the greatest results. Take one more breath. And then if you would, on your inhale, let your arms float back up to the sky. Keep sitting up tall, but bend your knees. Put your feet flat on the mat. Keep feeling that length, that nice long torso, and reach your arms forward, parallel with the ground. We're going to start to lean back, but keep the body straight. Keep the ribs in. That's it. Lift the chest a little higher and draw the whole arm back so you feel your shoulder blades squeeze a little bit together. Now I love what I see here. Keep your feet on the ground. Keep your spine tall. Let's bring our hands together and interlace everything but the index fingers and give another little lift from the chest. Sometimes when the hands come together, the shoulders round forward and the chest collapses. I want you to pull those shoulders back and widen the chest. Now, twist to the right side. Just a little bit gets you exactly what you need. There's no contest here about who twists the deepest, right? The winner feels their obliques turn their torso. Right? So again, we're looking for something simple that can be quite profound. Can you be present? Can you keep the arms back and the chest wide? Yeah, simple movements, big results. Take it over to the other side. Do it slow. Feel the obliques release and then re-engage. One more breath. Return to the center. Now open your hands, palms up to the sky. Tuck your tailbone under. Remember our cat-cow at the beginning? So start to tuck your tailbone, engage the belly, and start to roll it down one vertebra at a time. Take your time. Go slow. Feel it. There's going to be a weak spot probably, and if you find it, sit in it. Sit in it for an extra breath and then go past it. Don't bypass. That's what we usually do. We just let ourselves drop by that spot and then we don't engage it. Once you get down there, feel the ease. Feel the mat beneath you. Let's pull the right knee to the belly. Give it a little squeeze. And as you squeeze that right leg in, extend the left one out. Feel a little bit of push and pull. Go ahead and flex your feet so you can feel the traction that you're creating, right? And you feel a little push and a little pull. You make a little bit of balance. Now, I want you to lift your head, neck, and shoulders and look at your left toes. Those are the ones on the straight leg. Now reach your fingers out toward the front of your mat. If that hurts your neck, you can put your fingers on the back of your head. Now, can you lift your left heel off the mat? I like it. Can you shrink your waistline just a little more? Bring the hips to the ribs and the ribs to the hips. Feel that happen. Take one more breath. Use your exhale to make it a little tighter. And then put your heel down. Put your head down. Grab that right leg. Squeeze it in. Nice work, everyone. Let's take a twist to the left side. Do the twist softly. After all of that engagement, we charge the body and then we release. We're wringing it out right now. I want you to feel the obliques soften. I want you to feel the waistline soften. And I want you to know that the shape of the pose is enough. That's it. Breath in, breath out. Remembering why you're here. Let's roll it back to the center. And release that right leg all the way down. It should feel pretty good. Take a moment in neutral. Take a full breath in and then let that breath out. And when you're ready, the left knee is going to pull into the belly. A little squeeze, a little push, a little pull. Flex the feet. What can we awaken here? We're trying to create balance, making sure every part of the body feels cared for. Now we're going to lift head, neck, shoulders, start looking toward the right foot. See if you can do it with your arms straight out and reaching. There's still a little push and a little pull happening, and if your neck is straining, you can look more toward the sky, or you can even put your hands behind your head. See if you can lift your right leg from the floor. Easy. That's it. Shrink the waistline. You can feel it. There is strength in there. You're pulling the hips in and the ribs toward the hips, and everything is shrinking. So good, everyone. Let the heel down. Let the head down. Grab that knee. Pull it back in. And then twist yourself to the right side. Left knee, the hips go all the way around, and once you get there, try to be soft about it. There's no reason in the world to be aggressive here. We're trying to wind down the energy. We did that one last charge, and now we're discharging. And from this point forward, I want you to take it easy. Put all of your attention toward your breathing and minimize your effort. Yoga is a practice of consciousness over effort. Feel everything soften. And then slowly return to the center. One last time, pull those knees right back into the belly. Give yourself one last squeeze. And when you're ready, the legs can release all the way down the mat. If you're in a shady spot, you might want to put your shirt or your towel or your jacket over your body. You don't have to put it on, but just like drape it over you. Because when we get still, we get cool. And for those of you watching around the world, it's rare for us to have a morning in the 60s in South Florida. So if you were generating some heat at home, it's because we needed to build that heat being outside in this beautiful, chilly air. Now let yourself be. No longer anything to do. This is an opportunity to let go and really be your yoga, be your purpose. As you bring your awareness back to this moment, I want you to bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. And then slowly bend each of your knees and put your feet flat on the mat. Just take a moment. Check in. Meet yourself exactly where you are. Something so beautiful to witness in Shavasana. When we all lay down onto our backs, right, barefoot, here we are in this park. There's a sameness about us, right? Doesn't matter how old we are or what outfit we chose today, what nationality we are. Doesn't matter our gender. Doesn't matter our level of education. None of it matters. Somehow we are all human. And then as we emerge from Shavasana and we come back, we have this uniqueness about us, this animated quality as we come back into life. And then each of us will roll up our mat and go into the world in our own way, in our own relationships, in our own story. And so I want you to take this moment right now to just meet yourself where you are, to acknowledge your work, to know that the magical and mystical, unique things that make you you are exactly what you want to be. Maybe the yoga helps us to see them a little more clearly, helps us to be that a little more clearly, and a little bit more on purpose. So I want you to rise to seated in a way that suits you, like really respectful to your body and your mind and your emotions. You come to sit and embrace all of the beautiful, magical things that make you you. And that unique intention and purpose that you put into your practice today. And we'll bring our hands together at our heart, and together as one beautiful global community, we will sound the sacred sound of Om. So Andy, can you take the volume down for me? Just a little bit. Thank you. We're going to take a deep breath in together. Go ahead, fill your lungs. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Om peace, peace, peace. May the spiritual journey of yoga be peaceful for us. May some peace rain down on each and every one of us. And whatever it is that we cultivate on the mat, may we be an example of that in the world. Every day, not just the day that we roll that mat out. May we repeat our intentions in every moment that we remember how important that work really is, so that our yoga goes off the mat and into the world with us. I thank you so, so much for being here, for showing up, for being courageous and doing the work. I thank you. Namaste. To you guys, really nice work today. Thank you so, so much. Your hearts are so present when you do your work. I love you all so much. Thank you for coming out and making this community so vibrant. As always, I do have clipboards going around. We need to sign them for the city. If you would find one of the clipboards, bring them forward so that I can, if you bring the clipboards in, I actually see more of you, which is really nice because some of you are so far away and I really love that connection time. So if you bring the clipboards forward, I get to see you guys as you sign in. I have information for you about Sicily. It's coming up this summer. It's my summer retreat. I'll be gone in April in India. That trip is already closed. That's sold out and done. But Sicily is now open, so July 21st to the 28th. If anyone would like to come to Sicily, my partner in crime in that one is Nada Mason, the owner of Trenti. She and I, this will be our fifth trip together. This will be our second time to Sicily, but we've been to Spain, we've been to Umbria, we've been to Amalfi Coast. We keep going back to Italy. It's just a magical place. It's where she's from. Her family is from a little village in Sicily, so we have lots of cousins and local knowledge on the ground there. It's a really special and unique experience, so come with me this summer to Sicily. For teachers, if you're interested in continuing ed, I have 2 modules coming up. They're 100-hour modules. One is on anatomy and on the chakras, and then I also have one at the end of the year on Sanskrit, history and philosophy. So we'll be reading through the ancient texts together and studying Sanskrit. So that should be a really interesting module too. That one will be in August and September. So May and June will be the anatomy and chakras, and they're 100 hours. Serious students and teachers for sure would love that. Passes, magnets, all of that as usual, and my email list. If anyone is not receiving the monthly newsletters, if you're not getting notification, next weekend, no yoga next Saturday. No yoga next Saturday, it's not my fault. I will actually be in town. I won't even be in India yet, but the city has a big event happening, so they're starting their setup on Friday evening, and then the event is on Saturday, so there will be no yoga next Saturday. I will post that, and I will email it, but if you're not getting my communications, please give me your email. Make sure we stay in touch.